Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, I am Mary and this is my husband, Jerard.
What's going on, guys?
Right now we are on our 1-year wedding anniversary vacation and we're wrapping up our trip. This is our last night here in Cabo and we thought it would be a good idea to talk about how you can make it through the first year of marriage. Because we've been told that that's the most difficult year.
And we made it.
We made it. Praise the Lord. Oh, no, proud. We made it. And so we feel like it would be good to give insight on ways we kind of navigated through our relationship, just different hiccups and different things, to provide insight to you guys, because we feel like what we were told was very true. The first year it's beastly. To say the least. There's insight that only you can develop through experience. Experience is the greatest teacher, and so we're just going to share some things that we feel would
be beneficial. And as she stated, no matter how much we tell you guys, until you actually go through it yourselves, you'll have a better understanding as to what we meant when we said whatever we said or whatever we share with you guys. Because you know, we did go through, you know, we went through marriage counseling prior to getting married, and, you know, we tried to, you know, seek out advice or, you know, wisdom and preparation for our union, but it's still a ton to learn and a ton to actually experience. So until you actually walk it, you know, and we're still learning. So this is just some tools to add to your tool belt as you prepare for marriage or you step into you know, this lifelong journey with your partner. These are things that we learned and we just sharing them with you guys. So just first to get started, I do want to share that although we've stated that marriage is hard, marriage is a beautiful thing. It is amazing. It's absolutely awesome. It's the best decision, one of the best decisions I feel like you can make in life, deciding who you're going to spend your life with. And I'm so thankful that I decided to spend my life with this one here. He's my favorite. He's my favorite. And we're best friends. I feel like that's something that's really important. Becoming best friends with the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. If you're not already best friends, developing that type of relationship is going to really be beneficial, so that when adverse situations happen, when difficulty happens, when you change physically, that person, because they're your friend first, they're not going to be as quick to leave or as quick to change. So I feel like that's really good, to become friends first, right, babe? Absolutely, absolutely. And we had that in the beginning. We prioritized that. That rapport, that connection, and it was a genuine friendship prior to marriage. So we're still growing, we're still learning. You know, each and every day. I think we learn a little bit more about each other. Absolutely. Likes and dislikes, and so it's a process. And not only is the relationship with your partner very important, but your relationship with God, that is priority. That should actually be number one. Having a relationship with the Creator, with the one who is love, so that you can gain an understanding of what that should look like from His perspective. Not from a worldly view of what love should look like, what society is telling you, but what God is saying about the roles in marriage, how the woman should operate, how the man should operate. And that would help to filter out some of these things that have been conditioned in us, some things that have now become habits. That would filter those things out if we truly develop that relationship first, even before getting into marriage. And also making sure that in marriage that you continue to grow that relationship and build upon that. I think that's super important. That's very important. And Mary and I are actually kind of in transition of relocating to Dallas, and that's something that we're definitely looking to do more together. Because we're separate, we might watch the same service online, or sometimes I might go to this church, you might go to that church, because we're in different locations. And for those who are new to our channel, watch our moving video so you'll better understand why we're in two separate locations. It's kind of interesting, but we only have like another month of that, so we'll be done pretty soon, and we'll be together. And I'm just so excited about that, because that's another hurdle that we've had to overcome. But because we're best friends, and because our relationship with God is strong, we can handle that type of situation being presented to us where we are now separate.
We kind of compiled like
a list, yeah.
A list of some things that we thought that was very, very important. And I don't know. Let's just dive in.
So
the very first at the top, and I think we kind of touched on it, but it's very important. That's the number one thing is Jesus.
And more Jesus.
And more Jesus.
You're going to need Jesus.
Because, yeah, it's a lot of prayer.
A lot of laying on your face. A lot of pleading with God.
Absolutely. I know.
And some of y'all know out there, you married women, you know, you need Jesus. So that's what. Another one, and I think Babe can speak to this because this is like on repeat in our relationship. Learn to say, I'm sorry. Babe will say sorry, but he's slow to do that. He wants to try to justify his case, and he knows he's wrong, but he doesn't verbalize it as quickly. And I don't know if that's like a man thing, but women appreciate a man being able to, or even, and a man I'm sure appreciates it as well, so it could be vice versa. Learning to say I'm sorry, owning when you're wrong, and quickly diffusing a situation by going ahead and just saying, you know what, babe, you're right. I shouldn't have done it that way. I'm sorry. That is the quickest way to put a fire out. For me with Jerard, he'll go on this tangent doing all this, and I'm like, all I wanted was sorry. Like, that's easy. Just say sorry. And not, okay, I shouldn't say just sorry.
Yeah, no, because, yeah, it's moved beyond that. Like, I'm beyond just a simple sorry, you know what I'm saying? Why? Show me, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, own your mess, you know what I mean? Like, if you screwed up, you know what I'm saying, just say I screwed up, and, you know, we can live with it. But, you know, if you kind of dance around it or whatever, you know, you point fingers and you don't take responsibility, in essence, that's what it means. Like, you know, take responsibility for what you did, and things will go over a lot smoother, I think, if you say, hey, babe, you know what, I shouldn't have did that way, or I shouldn't have said it that way, or whatever the case may be, you know, I apologize. And
he did that the other night, and I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, get over here, boy. I was on fire. Like, I was so mad with him. I don't even remember what he did, but the moment he apologized, like, he came back and said it, and I didn't have to say it again, like, I need you to apologize or whatever. Then he took time to think about it, and he came back and did it on his own. I was like, boy, I like that. Like, own your stuff.
Yeah, but that's a great starting point. Just willing to apologize and just try to diffuse the situation as quickly as possible. Learning when and where to pick your battles. Although I may feel a certain way, but just, you know, apologizing, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that battle wasn't for me, you know what I'm saying? Just, she got that one. I'm going to get this one. But, babe,
or he got it.
You got it. Don't even worry about it, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't worth it.
I think it's important to realize that you don't have to fight to be right. You should fight to get it right in the relationship. So it's not a matter of, oh, I want to be right, I want my point to be proven, that type of thing, because you're going to go back and forth like non-stop. It's about, I want to get this right. I want to get this right for the next generation. I want to get this right for my kids. I want to make sure that when they come into the world, that they're coming into a safe environment. They're coming into an environment where there's love, where there's a display of godly love and what that looks like in marriage. I want to make sure that they see something different than what I saw. They see something different than what maybe their friends have seen. We are able to set that table for them and prepare that table for them. So then when they get married, they know how to operate in marriage. It's not something that they're having to develop and figure out, that they're having to pray and fast over. They've already seen it. So because they have that point of reference, they can now operate in that with more confidence.
I was kind of like the other day, just, I don't know what we were talking about, but it kind of came up with the notion of like, we were talking about love and loving each other and things like that, and displaying it, you know, for our children. I was kind of, you know, me and my wife was talking about how, as a man, it's so important too, especially if you have a girl or a daughter, that you're going to be the first male that she ever loved. So it's very, very important in that relationship that it's handled properly. That way, when she becomes a woman and she gets married, you know what I mean, she's prepared and she understands certain elements of how things should be. And, she doesn't bring any hurt from, you know, her childhood or whatever. And the same goes for a young man, you know what I mean, such as myself. We were just kind of discussing like the importance of being loving parents and displaying love. That way our children, as Mary stated, kind of carry that within them and they know what to expect when they become adults. I know we jumped to kids and I know y'all ain't ready for kids. We just kind of took a little slight veer, but you know, we still talking about love in first year, so we ain't trying to rush the kids.
But having foresight for your kids.
Absolutely, because we ain't got kids yet neither, so go ahead.
Yeah, you can wait on that. But going back to the piece about God being important, knowing what that relationship should look like, knowing what God's character looks, feels like, being able to use your intuition to be able to determine whether a guy or a girl is, or a woman or man is treating you the way that God would. Understanding what his character looks like now as a single is so important. And when you get in marriage, learning what that looks like, if you didn't know prior to getting into marriage, that's so important. Because if you know what that looks like, you're not going to accept just anything. As an individual who knows that character, you're not going to be okay displaying characteristics that are outside of what God's character looks like. You're going to be so convicted. So it's important that you understand what that looks like. So there are moments where if Jerard is kind of, you know, acting up or whatever, I'm like, babe, you're not acting like Jesus right now. You're not acting like your godly characteristics aren't showing. And I may not say it in that manner, but that's essentially what I'm saying. So when it's anything outside of that, I got a little discomfort with that. I can't really be okay with that because I'm aware of what that godly character looks like. So if both individuals are truly aware of what that looks like and making sure that they are dying to flesh daily enough to say, God, I'm yielding to your will. I'm yielding to the God that's on the inside of me daily, so that I can display that character to my partner and they're able to see that in such a manner to where they know your love on a daily basis. They don't have to question your love. They know without a shadow of a doubt that God loves me, God lives in me, and God is present in my relationship. God is present in my life. So that's so important.
I think the next point we had jotted was just appreciating one another. Don't take each other for granted. It could be the simplest or the smallest thing, you know, that your husband or your wife may do. I think just showing gratitude and appreciation for what they do is very important. I think sometimes we get in marriage and we just assume that she or he is supposed to do these things, or you know, whatever the case may be. Just showing that appreciation is still important. I mean, no one is required to do anything, you know what I mean? But not taking them for granted. That's very important.
And your partner should not have to necessarily guess that you love them or guess that you appreciate what they did. It shouldn't be a question of whether you're taking me for granted or whether I'm taking you for granted. You should never feel that way. If appreciation is shown on a regular basis, it takes you nothing to say, you know what, babe, I think you're doing a great job. Even if it's something small, it goes a long way, especially for women. I feel like we are fighting so much as women to be appreciated, to be heard,
affirmation,
to be made to feel like we are valued. That means so much to us. So men out there, appreciate your women. You can get a lot out of us if you just show some appreciation. If you're trying to get a little extra, you know,
affirm her.
Show some appreciation. We will give you whatever you want. We might even do whatever you want. Like, for real, like, appreciation just goes a long way. I cannot stress that enough. Appreciate her, and women appreciate him, and I do my very best. But again, you know, we're work in progress. We can only speak from the perspective of what we've learned and what we're still learning throughout this year. We're now at the beginning of year 2, because we just June 30th passed like a week ago. Was it a week ago? Like a few days ago. So now we're in year 2, and we are striving every day to become better. Every single day. So with that, study each other. Become a student. I should be a student of Jerard. I gotta pay attention to him. I have to pay attention to his little hiccups, his gestures, his non-verbal communication, because your partner is communicating whether they're talking or not. You must pay attention to them and study every little thing, the good things, the bad things, things that their likes, their dislikes, because that's going to help to make you a better partner. That's going to help you to be a better helpmeet, because that's what we're put on this earth to be. In marriage, you know, I'm supposed to help him. And I can't help him if I don't know. If he always has to come to me and say, Mary, oh, I need this. He shouldn't always have to do that. And I shouldn't always have to tell him I need this or verbalize it to him. Absolutely. He should be able to do it without me saying, because he studied me.
Absolutely. And I think that plays into the next point that we had was loving each other the way that each other needs to be loved. You know what I mean? Going back to like love languages and things of that nature that are important to that person. It's very important in that studying process or that learning process, filling each other out process, that you understand what's valuable for your partner, like what he or she needs. In the case of my wife, as she said, over time, her love language has shifted a little bit. She needs a little bit more physical contact. She enjoys the physical contact. and then also affirmation. She wants to be affirmed, and she wants to know, you know what I mean? Hey, baby, you are awesome. That dress you got on today, you look amazing. You're awesome. You're great. You know what I mean? Like, you know, put the sauce on it, man. Sauce her up, like it was in the beginning when you was trying to get her or you was trying to get him. Keep it saucy. So, you know, that's very important.
That's a good point too about keeping it spicy. That's something Jerard said in the beginning. He wants to make sure in our relationship that it's spicy. Have fun together. Life is too short to be serious. And somebody made the comment under I think it was our last video, and I could really appreciate that. That as Christians, although we're Christians, we don't feel like we have to be all uptight, that we can't laugh together. Laughing is good for the soul. So have fun with each other. I know I was at my old church, the ministers over the young adult ministry, they talked about in marriage how at the end of the night to make sure they watch a funny movie at the end of the night to make sure they're laughing together. So they're ending the night on a good note where both individuals are full of joy and happiness. It releases endorphins that are so good for you. So like laugh together. Have a good time. We have a ball together. There are some moments where Jerard can be a little serious and stuff, but I love when he's silly. I love when he's making me laugh. Like that's like that innocent, that puppy love, good best friend, childlike beauty of a relationship that I feel like still should be infused. Even if you're 60, even if you're 70, 80 years old, I want to still be laughing with him and clowning and joking around. I want that. That's important. I feel like that's how you stay looking young longer. Like having fun.
You stay youthful as well. Yeah, so, you know, in a relationship, there will be ups and downs, and those downs being a difficult moment or those tough times. And you said those vows, you know, for better or for worse, and there'll be times that things will seem worse. But I recently heard this, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. Even bad days only have 24 hours. Nevertheless, this will pass. This will pass, and y'all will get through that storm and together, you know, and come on to God with it, you know, whatever issues y'all dealing with. Like I said, they all, even the bad days, like the quote says, it only has 24 hours. You'll get through that storm. It'll pass, and just sticking together through those times, because those times, and I kind of touched on it before in another video that Mary and I discussed about, like those should be like, actually for me, I see them as stepping stones to like new levels of love, new levels of understanding, new levels of appreciation. I think it's good. Not that I enjoy those moments, but I see those opportunities to grow, because anything you ever went through, like a difficult time, a difficult exam, or whatever, a difficult circumstances, when you come out of that thing, you're better, you're stronger. You're like, man, like I thought that thing was doing defeat me, you know what I mean? But I made it through that. So what's up? What's next? You know what I'm saying? Like you're ready to go, and it's important to stick together through those storms and stand by each other. You know, there might be circumstances where, you know, financial issues, loss of job, loss of family member.
In our marriage, we've had some things happen in the very beginning, and we made some people from a different viewpoint would see it as, oh my God, like what, you know, just would look at it as a bad thing, but I see it as something good. If you can make it through challenging situations in the beginning, that speaks to what the rest of your relationship is going to look like, the strength of it. Because if you start off with something that's like could be traumatic or really tragic in the beginning, and you stay together through that, now like we're gonna grow together. We're gonna be so much stronger and just have a different type of tenacity.
There's no losses. It's just lessons learned, and you're building, you know, your trust, your character, your belief, your faith in each other, and
when you're faced with those circumstances, seeing your partner's zeal towards staying together in those moments, seeing how they responded to it and how they were still so close to you, how they didn't pull away, that's the most attractive thing ever. Like, it's gonna make your love stronger and deeper. It's really a beautiful thing. Another one I don't think we had down, but unconditional love is so important. You know, through the job law, it's not contingent upon you having something or you being able to do something for me in a certain season. We should still be able to, where he's lacking, I should be able to pick up the slack. Where I'm lacking, he should be able to pick up the slack, because we're each other's helpmeet. We should be able to be that kind of do the balancing act. In areas where he's weak, I should be strong, because the God that's on the inside of me is going to help to fill in those gaps that are necessary. So it's really important to stand by each other. Don't give up on each other, and don't have this conditional thing going. Marriage is not about that. You need to have unconditional love developed, and if that's something that's hard for you, you need to start praying about that now, because life will hit you, and it will hit you hard. Trust me, we know. We've had some stuff, y'all, but we've stuck together, and it's just been amazing to see how awesome and just strong Jerard has been through it all. And it makes me so thankful to be with him even more when these things happen.
Yeah, likewise. And like I said, it was funny because, you know, we were talking earlier. I don't really want to bounce around. It's not really on here. But we were talking earlier. It's like, you know, I don't know if people cover their ears or they like just block out for better or for worse, you know, through sickness and all, you know, all those things. So it's like, man, like, it's important to stick to each other, stick by each other through whatever circumstances y'all are facing.
We're not going in order necessarily,
but Jesus is number one. We gonna win.
Push out.
Everything after that was a freestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's all freestyling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of prayer.
Yeah.
Jesus, and what?
Mo Jesus.
And Mo Jesus.
The next one is love is an action word. It's an action word. I told Jerard,
show me.
Absolutely. Like, stop talking about it, be about it.
Show me.
There are some nights, and it's kind of bad because, you know there's this notion, everybody's heard of it, don't go to bed angry. But I'm going to be honest and transparent. There are some nights where I'm not. We have this affirmation we say every night, and Jerard ended up saying it by himself because I don't even want to talk to him because he done got on my nerves so bad. So
I just touch her and pray.
Yeah, he touches me. Like, I always lay on his chest at the end of the night when he prays, so I'm always in that position, and his hand is like over my head to like cover me. But I might not say it with him. So like, because I want you, stop saying you love me. Like, show me. Like, I need you to actually execute. Don't just keep, you're just supposed to know how I feel. You're just supposed to give me the benefit of the doubt. No, sweetheart. I need to see this in action. It's an action word.
Absolutely. You gotta show him. You gotta show her. You gotta show him. It's an action word.
I hope y'all can hear us. They got this.
Yeah, man. They got the boys in here. They doing their thing, man. It's awesome, man. It's cool.
Like serenaded.
Yeah, while you're eating dinner, they come over and do they want to. You know, another one we had on here, and we're kind of jumping, trying to, you know, get through this before they kick us out of here. But, you know, empathy is important. I know that's one I'm still learning and I'm going to God with, because a lot of times, you know, my wife, I think we touched on it before, you know, she wants me to be a little bit more empathetic, like live in that for a moment before I, you know, as men, we often want to fix problems, you know, whatever the circumstance it is like, all right, it happened, let's go, you know, fix it. But, you know, my wife kind of desires for me to, you know, hey, you know, that sucks, babe, that's awful.
Yeah.
I'm really bad. I'm really mad that happened to you. You know, that's terrible. You know, whereas, you know, as men, we naturally want to just fix it and forget about whatever. But yeah, it's important. Remember why you said I do. You know, remember, you know, the twinkle in your eye, the flutter in your stomach when you know, you saw him or her. Yeah. Remember those moments and fight for your love. Fight for it. And the D word shouldn't even be an option. We're just gonna say the D word. We ain't even gonna say it because you know what we're talking about.
I'll put it down there in case y'all don't know.
Don't make that an option, man. That's not even on the table. Hey, how can we fix this situation? Whatever we gotta do. If it's counseling, and nothing's wrong with counseling. I hope, you know, people don't think that's like a stigma or something. You know, you're going to get counseling, or you're going to
only do it at the beginning,
or you're going to get treatment for something. It's important. It's a way to kind of gauge where the relationship is and make sure it's like a checkup. You go to the doctor, you know what I'm saying? Things are good. You feel healthy, but hey, we're gonna go get the checkup just to make sure everything is good. And that's the same thing. Could be that's another way to view the counseling. It doesn't have to be only when things are bad, you know. You don't go to the doctor when you know you're feeling bad. It's important to have just a routine checkup. Yeah, and you don't want to go when things have exploded. Now we really got something to deal with. Now we really got to talk.
Talking about divorce, and it's gonna be a whole. Oh no, we ain't talking about none of that.
Did you hear her curse?
No, I didn't.
She just cursed. We gonna wash her mouth out with soap when she get back to the room. She out here cursing and everything, and then, Cabo. Yeah. Oh my God.
But essentially, what I'm saying is, then that becomes, if it gets to a point where you haven't done the necessary work, if you're not talking to other couples that are maybe your age or older than you, that are seasoned, that can give you insight, or watching marriage videos, or reading marriage books, or doing the necessary work to develop in your relationship, then it could get to a point where it's so out of hand that now you're having to do corrective measures rather than preventative measures. It's important to do that. So don't even let that be an option, because I feel like if you allow that type of energy to be in your relationship, and that's a breeding ground for the devil to start just wreaking havoc, and that's not something that you want.
Another one is just being flexible, you know, coming to a marriage, being a learner, you know, being understanding that you don't know it all. Your way isn't always the best way, Bubba. Like, a lot of times I do have the best way.
No, you don't. I think he does.
But your way,
I think he do everything.
Listen, but your way ain't the best way.
And
you know
y'all say all this stuff in the comments and stuff, and I'm like, y'all don't even know this guy. He think he know everything.
My way ain't the best way. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink.
You think you know everything.
But yeah, you know what I mean. So being willing to compromise, being flexible. You know, everything can't be your way. Everything can be her way or his way. You know, working together. You know, sharing, laughing, just loving each other. All of those things are just very, very important.
And the last thing, just to leave you all with kind of the first thing, pray together.
Absolutely.
Include God in every aspect of your marriage.
Us three.
Yes.
I told you guys. It's us three. You see him? You don't see him? You don't see him right here? She said God is love. So anytime you see us smiling and loving on each other, that's God. He's here. He's with us.
You might go through different challenges, but if God is at the center of your relationship, there's no way you can't win.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what we want to say to you guys. And
it's already written that we're going to win.
Absolutely.
It's important that you know that. Like the battle is already won. You know what I mean? So
no matter what you face, God, He can fix it. He can fix it, even if you're on the brink of the D word. If you're on the brink, God He can restore, He can redeem, He can mend broken hearts. He can do all of that. So just give it to him. Make sure you're praying. Make sure you're staying in his face. Make sure you're studying each other. And watch these kind of videos.
And don't wait until, you know, things get out of hand.
Yeah.
You know, seek counsel.
Yeah, seek good counsel. That's good.
Yeah, get in the church, pray together, all those things. I'm looking forward to, you know, I think in the fall, life group starts back up. A lot of churches over the summer, they go on like vacation mode because a lot of people are traveling and it's hard to get groups together to, you know, the fellowship. I'm looking forward to the fall. My wife will be in Dallas. We'll be able to find our, you know, our little
and they have marriage
group, our little life group and young adults or whatever the case may be.
That's gonna be awesome.
Young and married, or you know, we're gonna look forward to like joining those groups and being able to feed off them and be surrounded by good people and, you know, growing and doing all these things together.
Yeah, serving God together. So we hope that you all enjoyed this video. We pray that it was helpful. We are not perfect by any means.
Absolutely.
We're still growing. As we learn and grow together, we will share things as we feel compelled, as God lays it on our heart. We will do that. So we hope that it's a blessing to you guys. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.
Absolutely. And leave some comments below. Any advice that you may have for us.
Please.
Some of you guys might be already year 2, year 5, year 10, year 20. We've been on this this little vacation or anniversary trip, and we've met couples 25 years in. You know, I had the shirt on, and everyone thought, "Hey, you 20 years married." The couple was like, "Yeah, we're actually on our 25th." I'm like, "Wow,
and they look young."
That's awesome." So, if some of y'all out there are at year 25, hey, listen, congratulations. That's awesome. Now pour into us. Share with us. Leave the comments below. You know what I mean? I know I ain't the most active when it comes to YouTube.
He reads the comments though.
But I read them, so I appreciate it. All the, you know, all the love, all the support. I appreciate it. So drop some info down low, man. Share with us. We want to learn as well. So let's learn together.
We love you guys, and we will see you all in the next one. Bye.
Thanks, guys. See you later.